What's going on, everybody? Al here. Street Sense.
The Creed Amber universe has arrived. 2 fragrances from the house of Creed, both amber rich. You have Centaurus and Delphinus. Check them out. Really nice, classy looking bottles. Now, you know, if you follow my channel, you know I'm a huge Creed fan since 2010. That's when I discovered Creed. I walked into the Creed boutique in 2010, and my journey has been amazing since then. So many great memories, so many great Street Sense episodes throughout the years. Comment down below which Creed Street Sense is your favorite. If you follow my channel, you know that I have so many amazing Creed Street Sense episodes. So the Amber universe. Now, I did a live with Lewis from the house of Creed. I'm gonna share part of that live. We're gonna go into the live, let Lewis explain these 2 fragrances for you. So he's gonna be part of this video. If you didn't check out the live, check it out. It was a great time. We talked for 2 hours. We spoke about Centaurus, Delphinus, and a bunch of other Creed related topics. We had a blast. So if you haven't checked it out, please do so. It's on my channel. Centaurus and Delphinus. Let me give you my quick take. Centaurus is stronger of the 2. It's got a strong amber, and it's got some cinnamon on the top and some tobacco to round it out. And it also has, both of these fragrances have that little fresh Creed kind of thing in the opening. It's like a little freshness that says, I'm a Creed fragrance. And then Centaurus, just the amber comes in, the cinnamon and the tobacco and a bunch of other spices, a bunch of things going on. It's a really strong fragrance. It lasts all day. It projects like crazy. It's really, really great for the cool weather. Delphinus, on the other hand, it's a smoother amber, not as strong, but it's there. Obviously, you get the amber. It's a nice, smooth amber. You have iris to give it a powdery kind of vibe, and a leather suede kind of thing in the background with like a hint of vanilla. Real smooth fragrance. Also lasts all day and projects really nice. But Centaurus, I would say, projects better than the 2. Centaurus is a beast. Delphinus is just a smoother, well-balanced fragrance. I love the 2 of them. I'm so happy they're in the collection. Let's send it over to Lewis now. Let him tell you a little something about these 2 fragrances.
Right. So so these 2 fragrances are amber focused, right? And it's not the first time that we've done amber fragrances. Like if you go back to one of the Bolton ones, for example, we had one called Amber Canal that's not available anymore, and we've had a few. And then before these 2 were released, 2 releases were also amber, Carmina and Queen of Silk, but it was a little bit different. So the artistry for Carmina and Queen of Silk was taking this amber and infusing the amber with fruits and flowers. So amber, it's a stone. It's an ancient stone. It's in fact, it's a gemstone. Okay. And it forms itself from tree resin. Okay? And it's been used for many, it goes back hundreds of years, and it takes millions of years for amber to form, by the way. And it's been used for many uses over the years, for medicinal and cosmetic. But because of its longevity and its mystery, it's always been considered that amber can connect us to the world of stars. Okay. Amber makes us feel different whenever we wear it. In fact, for example, something they do in my country is when little babies are teething, sometimes they put them like a little amber necklace, and it calms them down, and they don't cry as much.
Really?
Right. So Dominican Republic is really rich on amber, so you find that a lot. And so back to amber. So amber cannot be extracted. It doesn't have a scent.
Okay.
However, we can create and capture that warm, sensual energy of amber using natural ingredients. 3 main ingredients. The first one, it's called black gold. You guys know what black gold is? Black gold? Yeah, black gold is vanilla from Madagascar. The benzoin. And the third one, it's labdanum. So benzoin is it's another resin, and it comes from the styrax plants, And these plants grow in tropical climate countries, but mainly found in Asia. And it has a warm, semi-sweet, honey-like property. Okay? Then you have the labdanum. Labdanum comes from the western side of the Mediterranean, and labdanum is also semi-creamy and semi-sweet. And then the black gold, the vanilla from Madagascar, is the most sought after vanilla in the industry. And it takes a long time to process it. That's why they call it black gold. So the flower, first of all, it only blooms for one day from the flower, but before it's handpicked, it has to age or grow or mature, whatever you want to call it, for at least 3 years. Then they're handpicked. Then they're can extract it. So it takes a long time. So it's a very expensive ingredient. But those 3 elements, we can use them to, again, capture that warm, creamy amber feel. Yeah? Now, again, with Carmina and Queen of Silk, we took that amber accord and we infused it with fruits and flowers in order to create texture. Right? I know it's getting kind of deep, right? Follow me. You guys are still with me? All right. So we're creating texture. We added this black cherry and this rose de mai, and with the amber, it created almost a velvet kind of finish. Almost like you could feel like the richest velvet. And then with Queen of Silk, we infused it with passion fruit and a flower that's called Chinese osmanthus flower that smells a little peachy. And so, again, with that amber accord, we created this fluid like movement of silk. So it smells very luxurious, yeah? And the reason we created texture is because those fragrances were a nod to our sartorial or tailoring origins. Fragrances, but to tie back to our DNA. So that's really cool, right? Yeah. So, everything we do, it's like super calculated, you guys. And so, now speaking with Centaurus and Delphinus, so they're both inspired by constellations. So Delphinus is the brightest star constellation. A fragrance that's good for you should extend who you are. I'm a big believer of that. You know that, Al. So, we always ask questions to find out more about the person versus the ingredient. It's not always about the ingredient, it's more about finding the fragrance that has the inspiration that matches your lifestyle. Yeah? So if you think about the brightest constellation in the sky, it's about a person who, when they walk into the room, they light up the place with a smile. Everybody wants to be around this person. It's a person that has that aura, right? Yeah. And so that's what we went for with Delphinus. And so Delphinus, again, you have that amber accord, you have that black gold, which is the vanilla from Madagascar, you have the benzoin in labdanum, and then pink pepper, and then we also have the blue gold, which is, you guys know what that is? So it's the most expensive ingredient for fragrance. You guys know what that is?
The blue gold, you said?
Yeah. What is the most expensive ingredient on the planet for fragrance?
That's a good question. Let's see. Someone said...
Let's see. Oh, Rafa, my brother. That's why he's my boy right there. Yes, it's iris. I love that. Yeah, so it's iris. So we call it Tuscan iris because, a lot of the iris flowers grow in Tuscany, Italy. But it's the... There in the months of March and April, you'll see these purple blue flowers as far as your eyes can see. And they smell beautiful. But they're just like the amber. You cannot extract from the flower. It doesn't work. You can't petals or the stem or the leaves. So after the harvest, we want the roots. But before we can extract the roots, they have to be dried. And we dry them underground for 4 years until they're moldy and disgusting. Yeah. And then once they're like really moldy, then they get them out. And they're all dirty. So they wash them and brush them. And then with this little curved knife, they take the skin off, right in the sun another 3 years. So that's 7 years, you guys. And if they had a rainy season, it's gonna go longer.
Wow.
So it can be over 8 years. And once it's really dry, then they take them and the chunks turn into a powder. And then that powder, after a while, turns into a paste. That's called orris butter. So the flower is called iris, but the roots, because it's O-R-I-S. So you guys, if you guys want to Google that, so orris butter is the most expensive ingredient in the planet. And so to give you an idea what this ingredient costs, so 1 kilo would be like that, okay? It ranges between 50,000 and 100,000 euro.
Wow.
Depending on how long it took to do the extraction.
Wow.
And so it's the ingredient that's forbidden in the industry. There's a lot of iris fragrances in the industry, obviously. But they're nature identicals. They're not the real thing. Yeah. And so, we have the orris butter in there. We have the blue gold, and then we finish it off with some suede, some leather, right? And so the leather, it's one of the leather skin.
Yeah.
Right? The skin-like. Yeah. Fragrances that smell like skin, it pulls the nose. It gives it that sexy factor, and it touches our animal have that skin smell. Whether it's clean skin or dirty skin, will always pull the nose. That's why back in the day, if you guys remember, CK1, remember CK1?
Is it in the
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So that fragrance was ultra sexy because it smelled like super clean skin. It's just like you just got out of the shower. I don't know if you remember the ads that showed like a lot of people kind of like nude, right? Or like hugging, right? And so, but it really was that. It wasn't sexy. So a fresh fragrance can be sexy, but also fragrances that are more on the animalic side can be sexy. So you have those two poles, but ultimately they smell like clean skin. So fresh or dirty, but those ingredients, sometimes perfumers will add cumin to a fragrance because cumin smells a little BO-y.
Yeah, it
right.
does.
And so it brings a nose, right? So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool like that. And so Delphinus is a fragrance that it has that luxury texture with that leather, right? And it's made with super premium ingredients. You have the black gold, you have the blue gold, right? You have that beautiful amber accord made all natural, and it smells super smooth, and it's smooth, but definitely warm. It's on the warmer side because again, it is an amber focused fragrance. Yeah. Now for Centaurus, right, a little bit different as far as the inspiration, right? So Centaurus, we use that same amber cord, right? But it's super magnified, right? Because Centaurus is the biggest constellation in the northern sky. So this is for someone who has a lot of energy. This is for someone who lives with passion. This is someone who doesn't really care what anybody says, maybe gets in trouble because always follows their heart versus their mind, right? You never think about it, right? You just go forward because that's how you live your life, right? This is like an Aventus wearer, right? This is someone who like really cuts the room.
Yeah.
So Centaurus, so Centaurus brings you that power, like the power of the cosmos. And so Centaurus, it's definitely richer. You have tobacco, and then you have some cinnamon on the top, so it gives you that fiery element. And then it has another kind of resin that brings it closer to the earth. And so it's called tolubalm, and this resin comes from Peru. So another ingredient that's very rare inside Centaurus, it's sandalwood. Now you're probably asking, why sandalwood so rare? Well, so this particular sandalwood comes from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And we work with one family. They have 8 members, and this fragrance opened the deadline for fall because they didn't have enough. Because it's a whole, I don't want to say tradition. I want to say it's more of it's what's the word I'm looking for? Well, sandalwood is sacred for them. So they pray to the trees like 3 times a day. They make sure that it's water. They do all sorts of preparation to the wood before it's harvested. It's a ritual. That's the word I was looking for. It's more of a ritual. And so, and they cut certain branches, certain trees, not all of them. So not it's not a big production, right? And so that's in Centaurus, this particular sandalwood.
No, but I'm saying
And so
in Sri Lanka, right? That's what that's what you're getting at. That's what you're saying.
yeah, the sandalwood's from Sri Lanka, and we get it from one family. So they just barely made the deadline for us earlier in the year for us to make it, because this fragrance also takes about 4 months to make.
Wow.
We can't just. This is also why we'll release, for example, in like France, England, US, sometimes before some of the other markets, because we just have enough. Because at the end of the day, we can only make as much as nature allows us to make. Right. So not all the time our fragrances are in stock or available for the public. Everybody, wants to like go running every. Fortunately, it's not always available in your market because it's just not enough. And at the end of the day, we do have a financial responsibility that we have to meet. We have to, make sure that everybody is employed and all that. And so we have to be tactful as a brand and release fragrances in prime markets. For example, like New York will get a fragrance first before where I'm in now. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma today. Right.
Tulsa.
The new Tulsa King.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So there's so much behind the scenes that people have no idea what it takes to make a Creed fragrance. Everybody, they get it and they enjoy it, they spray it, they go on the weekend, but before it got in your hands, there was so much work, and so many like quality checks along the way, and just a lot of handshakes, making sure that the ingredients are up to standard, and that we're making the best formulations for everybody.
And there you have it, the Creed Amber Universe, Centaurus and Delphinus. We had Louis on board. He gave you the whole picture of what these fragrances are about, how they're part of the stars of the constellation and all that. Amazing. I love the way Louis breaks down fragrances. So I want to say thank you for Louis. If you're watching, thank you for coming on that live. Hopefully we can do another live real soon, and we'll get Louis back on, and hopefully we can do a Creed Boutique video in the near future. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for all the support. Once again, the Creed Amber Universe. Let me know what your favorite Creed Street Scents episode is. Comment down below, or anything else. What do you think of Centaurus or Delphinus? Which one's your favorite? Also, hit that subscribe button. Show Street Scents some love. Let's see the comments. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm excited. The weather's getting warmer, so I'll get out on the streets real soon and bring you some new street scents from the streets of New York. That's it for now. I'll see you later.